Hi everybody, it's Norma here, welcoming you to your Thursday afternoon core flow class. We've got a few minutes to start. Just wanted to welcome friends who are there. Just give me a wave, checking that my volume's good. I'm back here in the wellness office. I think the sound was better in here, so we're going to continue to come to you from this space. So as people join in, just wanted to check on everybody, see how you're doing. It's Thursday afternoon, just about through the week of Mental Health Week. Just wanted to check in, see how people were doing. Know that our focus this week is not just saying you're fine, reaching out, becoming real about our feelings, both those physical and mental feelings, specifically mental health focus this week particularly. So it's okay not to be fine, and we're encouraging people to be real. So if you need help out there, or you know somebody that may need help, just reach out. Know that there's resources available. We're available here at any time in medical services for anybody, even if you just want to say hi, check how you're doing. So although we are here on site, we know that a lot of people are working remotely, and our thoughts are with everybody in their particular situation. We know that this is unprecedented times. So more so in this Mental Health Week, we wanted to just say, hey, how are you doing? And know that it's okay not to be okay. We're gonna get through this all together, and we look for how we can look for resources that we can help you with, but know that if you're doing good, maybe sharing how you're feeling to somebody else. So reaching out, however that is. So there's various platforms, social platforms. This Facebook Live is a great opportunity for us to reach out and give you some physical and mental support through our yoga classes and our stretch classes and our exercise program. So know that you are not alone, and that especially this week, reach out, say hi to somebody. If you got even a little joke or a tidbit how to get through the day, know that all those things, sharing resources, is just a way to stay connected, and never know, you might be the light that brightens somebody's day. So with that, we have about a minute before we get started. So get yourself comfortable. So we're doing a flow class today, but we're going to work specifically on our core. So a little bit more physically challenging, but know that again, this is an offering. If we're holding our plank position for 15 seconds and you want to come down to your knees or even stay on your knees the whole time, you go for it. So this is an offering. Know that I can't see you out there, and I don't know what your level is. So take it to your level. I will give some options as we're going through. And it's an opportunity to challenge yourself a little bit physically, and also, you know, sometimes when you challenge yourself physically, you can help yourself and support your mental health. So let's get started. So becoming comfortable on your mat, whatever that looks like to you. You can be in a Shavasana, knowing that sometimes Shavasana is a great way to start your practice and to end your practice. We will end here. So big welcome to start in Shavasana. I'm going to move up to a seat so I can see people join us, and I can cue you through the first opening. So option Shavasana to start. Laura offered a child's pose for starting in the noon hour class today. Know that that's an offering. We spoke a little bit about the benefits of child's pose and opening up the back of your heart and breathing into your back body. So you can start there, or you can sit in a seated position once you get comfortable and once you get settled here. So taking a few moments in whatever pose that you've chosen to start, and just start to arrive. Forget about all of those things that may have been impacting you through the day. Know that you've carved out the next 45 minutes for you, and anything that you choose to pick up at the end of class will be there. The key point here is it's your choice if you choose to pick it back up. Hopefully this is the end of your day, and you can go off and relax at the end of class. So changing your focus onto your breath now. Feeling your breath come in through your nose, fill up your chest, your belly, and let it out past your mouth. So let's travel through a few more cleansing breaths as we settle here. We begin to arrive. Taking your breath in through your nose, filling up your chest, your belly, and sighing out, letting it go. So now finding the natural rhythm of your breath, transitioning your breath in through your nose and out through your nose, keeping awareness on your breath as we begin to settle and arrive. Just taking these first few moments, scanning your body and seeing how do you feel this Thursday afternoon at 3:30. Just awareness of any area that may be sticky or you may be favoring. No judgment, just awareness. Perhaps sending your breath and your focus to that area. Often I describe it as sending some love into that place and seeing if you can settle a little bit further. As you come into your breath, noticing that your shoulders are falling away from your ears, your tongue falls away from the roof of your mouth. You unclench the biting surfaces of your teeth, and you surrender here. Focusing on your breath. And I want you to remember that at any time through the practice, as we are going to be physically challenging ourselves with our core portions, that know that if something comes up in your mind or you think, I can't do this, why is she counting so slow? All of those things, it's okay to feel those things. Big permission to feel everything while you're on your mat. Know that you are supported here. And if things come in, come back to your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. Maybe when something comes to the surface, bubbles up a little bit, and you want to clear that, come back to that cleansing breath in through your nose. Sigh out. Let it all go. It'd be permission to make all the noise that you want with that. Sometimes it's really great just let it all go. Just tell a little funny story that I saw on social media, because that's somewhere where we get to share stories. And it was a funny story about a teacher that wanted to share a song that she had written. So her song, she was beautifully playing the ukulele, and I was drawn to that because a friend of mine plays ukulele, and I thought how pretty the music was. And all her song was her expressing this scream. So it was la 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 music too. So big permission when you want to release something that may have come up, or you brought something on your mat you want to let go of. Make some noise, let out that breath, and know that the next breath is a fresh start. So let's begin to wake up our bodies and prepare ourselves for our movement practice. So taking these next few breaths to roll out your ankles and your wrists. Maybe massage out the back of your head by turning your head from right to left. I'm going to come down to join you as we offer ourselves a long stretch, like we're just waking up from a long nap. Arms and feet are long. And with the exhale, take your knees into your chest. So holding on to whatever is accessible here for you. That can be back of the knees or your pant legs. Again, knowing that everybody's different in your limitations and your practice is your own. So just lowering your head and shoulders on the mat, not bringing any more tension back in, and taking our knees and just rocking our hips from side to side, offering a little massage to our back. Offering some stillness now, taking knees into the chest one more time as you push yourself over to the side, whatever side is calling you, and gently push yourself up to a seat. So since it's core flow, we're going to do a few postures that we're going to work on our core. And one great posture to start with is boat pose, because it gets into your core, fires up your belly. I often talk about that fire in your belly. What I'm referring there to is your solar plexus. So when we engage our core and ignite this energy in our solar plexus, it just, as I describe it, gives you fire in your belly, and it's an amazing feeling. So let's activate that a little bit through our class. So for boat pose, you want to be sitting on a comfortable seat. Your knees are bent and your feet are flat on the floor. You're going to grasp your legs behind your knees. So taking an inhale to prepare, sending yourself back so that you're sitting on your sit bones and your toes can stay on the floor for now. So this may be enough for you, feeling that tightness as you contract your belly button to spine, holding tight into your core because you want to protect your back. If it's in your practice, you want to challenge yourself a little bit, can you take your feet off the floor to low boat? Mindful that we're just warming up. We don't want to overdo it to start. And remember to breathe. Coming back down to the floor, crossing your legs, and just draping yourself over your knees, letting it all go. Let's do that again. So setting up. Our feet are firmly on the floor, toes are pointed, we're reaching for the back of our legs. We're tilting back on our sit bones till we gently take our feet from the floor. This time, you want to challenge yourself, can you extend your legs? Remember, still breathing. One more, can you take your arms to the side, even if it's just for a sec. As we come back in and drape over our toes. Fantastic, guys. Transitioning on to our hands and knees. We're just going to transition through 3 cat-cows just to warm up our spine. As always, making sure you're building that foundation. Fingers are wide. Shoulders are stacked over elbows, over wrists. And we're taking the insides of our elbows to the front of the room. Toes can be flat on the floor or toes can be tucked. I always say that I like my toes tucked just to give myself a little bit of balance here. So again, focusing on our core, inhaling, dropping our belly, lifting our gaze. Exhaling, belly button to spine as we pull in, reaching up into that scary Halloween cat. So travel through 2 more with your own breath. Adding any little flow here or wiggle that you want to experience. Coming back to a neutral spine. Taking our hands forward, bending generously into our knees. If your toes aren't already tucked, please tuck your toes as you lift your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. So with our first downward facing dog, pedaling out your heels, wagging up your tail. What does my body need in this first inversion? What does my mind need in this first inversion? settling yourself in, pouring your heart through the opening of your arms. Your biceps are lining up with your ears. Take an inhale together. Exhale, sigh, let it all go. Alrighty, let's flow. Bending your knees, taking yourself to the top of your mat, however you travel there, hopping, walking, or stepping. Inhaling to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Hands to heart center. So even as we're going through these, always focusing on our core as we're reaching our arms to the sky, can you engage your core? Bring your hands to heart center. Imagining that fire around your belly. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up as you bow over soft knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. So high or low plank, I always opt to lower your knees all the way down to the ground. Taking your hands as wide as the mat, as your hands are on tented fingers, forehead, and focus of your eyes to your mat. Just gently breathing yourself up into a low cobra before lowering yourself back down. Taking your hands back to underneath your shoulders, tucking your toe, pushing up through table, downward facing dog. So Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A, we'll travel through that 2 more times. Just increasing our pace a little bit as we're doing a core flow class. So bending your knees, looking to the top of your mat and traveling there. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and bow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Making breath with movement. Coming up, maybe into a higher cobra or up dog as we're warming up. 3 breaths to reset. Bending your knees, traveling to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine all the way up. Right away, bowing over soft knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. So these are a little quicker. So always mindful to go at your own pace. To warm up, your back bend maybe a little deeper. Always protecting your lower back. Engaging your core is a key focus there. So 3 breaths here. Just gonna do a check-in, see how everybody's doing. Nice to see some new friends as well as old friends. Everybody doing okay? Wish you could tell me that. Okay. Let's flow. So from your downward facing dog, taking your right leg up behind you, stepping or helping your right knee, your right leg to the front of the room. So setting up for crescent lunge, always mindful that we can start here in low crescent lunge, heading up our mat to help our knees if we have any knee problems, or coming up to a crescent lunge. So as we're focusing on our core today, making sure that we're bending generously into that knee and having that contraction as our legs kind of scissor to support us, and your torso and your core are strong as we breathe our hands up and our gaze follows. Are you breathing? Beautiful. pivoting your back foot open to heel toe alignment as we flow into warrior two. So as I always say, that big stability in your legs, that strength, but where can we offer softness in this pose as our arms float like wings and our gaze is over our right middle finger here. Trying to keep that right knee facing out and not bending in. Our core is strong, supporting our back. Flipping our right hand, reach it up and back, exalt your warrior. Beautiful. Coming back through warrior two before pivoting onto your back feet, taking right foot to meet left. We're going to come down on our knees and we're going to start our first plank. So whatever position's good for you for a plank, we're going to hold it for 15 seconds. So you can come down to your elbows with your knees down, or if it's in your practice, you can be on your elbows with your feet upright. Or if you're hardcore like my friend Dee, perhaps you're here in high plank, making sure that, you know, we're not having our bums up in the sky. And I said 15 seconds and I talked a lot. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pushing back through downward facing dog and rinsing it out with a flow if that's in your practice. If not, you can stay in downward facing dog or take a child's pose. 3 breaths here. So how does that feel, having a little bit of quicker pace today? How is that challenge of holding a plank for probably around 20 seconds, not 15? Did your mind get in your way? Is there anything you can do to come back to your breath and seeing if you can hold that plank for that 15 seconds? But also big permission that if these planks don't serve you, that you're going to do what serves you. You are your own best teacher. Alrighty, second side. Taking your left foot up behind you. Stepping your left foot or helping your left foot to the top of your mat. So setting up for a lunge here, either low crescent lunge. Your hand can be on your knee or your hips. Or you can come up to a high crescent lunge if that's in your practice. Squaring your hips to the front before reaching your hands up to the sky, and perhaps your gaze follows. So once again, focusing on our core as we tighten in, we're reaching up, knowing that we're not going to exert our neck above. If we're opening space up, we don't want to, we want the alignment of our spine like it's one long string. Pivoting on your back foot, opening up, warrior two. Where is your breath here? Where can you offer softness? Flipping your left palm, reach it up and back, exalt your warrior. Nice breath into that side body as we're toning our core. Coming back through warrior two, pivoting on that right foot, hands come down, stepping back through one more plank here. So again, options, you know where your options are, you know where your practice, and our 15 seconds starts now. So keeping with your breath. Good job. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set back to downward facing dog just to release that. And flowing through your chaturanga if that's your choice. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Hey, new friends, thanks for joining. Okay, taking a breath together, inhaling, exhale, side everything go. Take your right leg up behind you, step your right leg to the top of your mat. A little different setup today. I can't remember if we've done too many warrior ones, so I'm talking you through the talking points here. Taking your left foot a few feet up the mat, not as far up as pyramid pose that we did on Tuesday. Your foot is on at 45 degrees, and we're going to come up with hands on hip. So this pose I find is a challenging pose, especially as you're beginning your practice, and you might find that you're a little uncertain in your pose. So if your balance is not there, just taking yourself to a wider stance here. So making sure your hips are forward, facing forward. Once again, can you take your hands up in your gaze with it? Taking your hands down, clasping behind your back. Now if you've got things going on in your shoulders and this doesn't serve you, please do not do the clasp. We can do the same with grabbing opposite elbows. But inhaling and bowing, taking your right shoulder to right knee as you let your heart pour towards the ground. So making sure that hip is not tracking back. We still have that bend to our right knee. We always stop breathing here, so make sure, inhale, exhale. Letting your hands go if they were clasped. Having some trust in me here because I know you can do it. Can you travel upwards, taking your left knee into a standing balance pose here. So a little different than warrior three. We're taking our knee right to our chest. You can hold on to it if you want to. And we're going to take our right hand out to the side. Beautiful. Letting left hand foot come down to meet right, arms in, and let's just shake all that off. Inhaling, exhale, bowers off knees. Inhale, flat back. This time we're going to step our right foot back. So taking that right foot now up into your warrior one foundation, so a few feet up with 45. Can you come up to a stand, setting your foundation, hips to the front, being able to see the knee, your toes underneath your left knee. Can you breathe your arms up and your gaze follow? So you know where we're going now. We're going to take our hands behind our back and we're going to just change the clasp. So whatever direction you had the first time, you change that. So hands down your back, opening your heart up, or opposite elbows. As we bow our heart forward, humbling our warrior. We have a tendency to jut out our hip on this one, so just making sure that you're tucking your hip under and you haven't lost your breath. So yin and yang, so strong warrior exalted warriors, celebrating. And at times we're humble warriors. Different faces, different poses, just like we're all different. And we may be going through different things. Letting your hands come down, taking your hands to the mat just for some stability as you take a leap of faith, dragging your right foot up as you stand, challenging your balance here, knowing that one leg is completely different than the other, making sure you're still on the soft knee. Taking maybe your hand to the back of your knee to hold on, or you're really saucy, you can reach for your toes with your peace fingers and extend that foot. It's not in my practice. Can you take your hand out to the side? Feeling that nice tightness in your core, enabling you to take that leg up. Fantastic. Left leg, right leg comes to meet left. Inhaling all the way up. As we exhale, bowing over soft knees. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, sit back into chair. So I've put a lot of challenging poses in here so we can fire up that fire in our belly, work on our core. Chair is a great pose to work on your core, your butt, your legs. Because one day we're going to be on the beach. So making your breath here. I'm just going to add a twist. So taking your left hand across your right knee, taking right hand to back pocket as we open to the right side of the room. Coming back to center, holding on, knowing you can do it. Keep breathing, taking right hand to knee, left hand to back pocket, twisting open. I know your legs are on fire, so are mine. We can. Coming back to center, dump it all the way out, let it all go. Excellent job, guys. So just taking a moment here, dangling with generous bend to our knees, feeling our belly. We're in our ragdoll pose. Just a moment to catch your breath before we transition to the ground. I always like to think any stress I may be still holding, just dripping off the back of my neck onto my yoga mat. What can you leave here that does no longer serve you? Letting your hands go, inhaling halfway left, exhaling, stepping back to plank. So 2 more poses before we have our final chaturanga. Taking your right hand underneath your right shoulder as we pivot on to the feet of both feet. So side plank, either you can be here as your foot is a kickstand, or you can be in full side plank. Also an option to come down to your knee here with your left foot out to the side. Do what serves your body. Great exercise to work on those core muscles. So wherever you are in your practice, I want to offer one last pose here. Wherever you are, you can take your left foot behind you, pivoting onto the outer aspect of your right foot, meaning coming up into wild thing, even if it's just for a second. Coming back through side plank, left hand meets right, exhaling, downward facing dog. So what we do on one side, we must do on the other. So 4 breaths here, resetting. When you're ready, we're going to stack our left hand underneath our left shoulder Pivoting on your left foot, taking your side plank, be that both feet, using right foot as a kickstand, or coming down to your left knee, standing out. Lots of options. As Wild Thing is my favorite pose, and it's a great way to open our heart up. That's in your practice, taking your right foot back, pivoting onto the edge of your left foot as you open up into Wild Thing. When you're ready, coming back through side plank, do your downward facing dog, and rinse it out with one last chaturanga. We're going to meet in child's pose. Woo! Fantastic job, guys. Isn't that fun? So taking sips of water in your child's pose. So my goal today was to challenge ourselves a bit physically, as this is a great way for us to support our mental health. Maybe try something, a few different poses too. Okay. So from that child's pose, breathing into that back body, letting your shoulders have a rest, your forehead comes to the mat. Feeling that connection to your mat. And having a few minutes rest, allowing breath to come into your back body. Open that side of your heart, that vulnerable side. And also maybe there's something in your heart that you want to let go. Know that there's a back door to your heart. And this is a great opportunity to let anything go that you want to. Okay, when you're ready, let's push ourselves back. And come back to where it all started. Boat pose. So we've done a lot of core work, we've flowed, we've done chaturangas. So we're a little more warmed up, there's a lot more fire in our belly, but we still want to protect ourselves and still want to work to our level. So just like we started, taking your hands behind your knees, sitting back on your sit bones, leaving your toes on the floor if that serves you, maybe coming up, straightening your legs, letting your hands come up. Maybe low boats in your practice. Mine's a very, very small low boat, but whatever. Have some fun here. Where can I take this? Wherever can I safely take this? Beautiful, guys. Letting it go, coming into a little ball. And we're going to transition onto our backs. I'm going to just turn around so I can still see the screen. So coming all the way down to our mats. Taking our feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. Hands can be at your side, or if you have some back problems, you just want to give yourself a little bit of protection and tuck your hands underneath your hips. Taking feet as wide as the mat, just offering some windshield wipers from side to side. Slow and steady, without a care in the world. The next time your knees fall to the right, please lead from there. Taking your right foot, hooking it over your left knee. Taking left hand up and over your head, feeling that breath in the left side of your body. Hand can be on your belly, and gaze can be over your left shoulder. Letting our feet come back to center. Right foot stays on your left knee like the number 4. Figure 4 position. You can stay here with your toes on the ground, or you can needle and thread through the space of your leg, holding onto whatever's accessible without crunching your neck and shoulders up off the ground. Figure thread the needle. So this may be the time where something comes into your mind as we breathe into areas as we challenged our balance and used our legs. So send breath into those areas. Letting our feet go, come back down to the mat. Feet are as wide as our mat again as we repeat the windshield wipers one more time. Slow and steady, massaging out our spine. The next time your knees fall to the left, please leave them there. Taking our hands to the side, taking left foot over our right knee and hooking it. Taking those knees a little further down into this twist. Right hand can come overhead, left hand to belly. And here, gaze can be softened. Sometimes in these twists, these reclining postures, I like to start closing my eyes and just coming into myself a little bit, preparing for Shavasana. Feeling that breath into the right side of your body. Beautiful. Taking our right foot flat on the floor again, leaving our left foot across our knee, figure 4. We're reaching through that window of our legs to thread the needle, making sure our feet are flexed to protect our knees. And you're not lifting your head and shoulder, you want to keep relaxed here. And one side can be completely different than the other, no judgment, just awareness. Sending breath into any area that may be saying hello. Letting our feet come down to the floor. Just taking a moment to bring your knees to chest. Maybe rocking from side to side to reset your spine. We're going to do one last posture before Shavasana. Letting our feet come to the floor. Hands again could be at your sides or underneath your sacrum, just give some more support. We're going to take our knees to a 90 degree and then our feet up, all the way up. So legs up the wall. If you have a block at home or a pillow, you can even put a pillow underneath your hips. Just taking our feet and pumping them a few times. And shaking out your legs. Letting anything that's drained down to your extremities to come back up to your heart to be recirculated. Knees back into your chest. Offering your body any last little movements that it's craving before coming down into Shavasana. So when you're ready, maybe tucking your shoulders under, feet are extended, toes are pointing out to the edges of your mat. Anything you want to do with your arms here, maybe taking to cactus arms, opening your shoulders again, maybe left hand to heart, right hand to belly, or perhaps you just want to be like a starfish with your hands to your sides. So taking these last few moments in this restful posture, remember that if your mind begins to wander, come back to your breath. The sound of my voice will bring you back when the time is right. Enjoy. Slowly bringing your awareness back to your body now. Offering small movements with your fingers and your toes. Maybe opening and closing your eyes. Massaging out your skull, rotating your head from side to side. What feels good for you right now? Taking your hands above your head, stretching like we started our class. You're waking up from a long nap. Bringing knees to chest, head and shoulders come up, thanking yourself. When you're ready, transitioning over to your side, maybe staying in fetal position for a moment before pushing yourself up to a seat at the top of your mat. So when you arrived at the top of your mat, coming into a tall seat, hands to your heart. Eyes can be closed or gaze can be lowered. I wanted to talk today about being kind. We talked about being kind to ourselves last week in our practice. And I noticed the wellness update came out just before class, and Dee Dee had found this, be kind to your mind, from the Mental Health Awareness Week information. What a great thing to think about today. Be kind to your mind. So as we know, this is a trying time and we all have different things going on. And part of being kind to yourself is being kind to your mind as well. So what is there that you can do to have a healthy mind? And I often say at the end of the class, just taking a moment to observe yourself and notice any changes in your body, could they be big or small, as well as your mind and your heart. Just taking this moment to thank ourselves for committing ourselves to this practice, allowing me to guide you in the community that we have created here. Even though we're virtual, I feel your presence. And I love sharing your energy. So let's take that with all of us off the mat, the energy that we've created here as our community on Thursday afternoon, that fire in our belly and our planks and chaturangas. What an awesome thing to share as we go about our day. Thank you. The love and the light in my heart bows to the love and the light in your heart. Namaste, friends. And for our mamas out there, a big happy Mother's Day to all moms out there. Many blessings, everybody. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Great to see you, and hope to see you again next week. God bless. Namaste.